Wait. Hello. Hello there. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy. For a second I was like, what? It's Monday. No, it's Thursday. Hello. How you guys doing? I just had a bite of fun food that's full of protein. Not full of flavor, but full of protein. Happy Friday Eve, yes. Let me go ahead and scroll up and see who we got here. Welcome the folks in, and we'll get started. Yeah, we got some art today. We're gonna be making some art. I totally didn't forget that I was doing that today, and I totally didn't start doing my research an hour and a half before stream started. Why would you think such a thing? Anyway, who do we got here? Let me scroll up. We got Folk, we got Saribot, I'll rock. You guys are getting your stickers. Your scratch and sniffer stickers, your daily redeems. Peck School, hello. You're second. Matthew, hello, you're third. Hello, hello. Mauser, hello, hello. Spencer, yo, hello, hello. Good conversations. I read your message right before I started. It was just so funny. Why do they get the pizza and I'm left with the crust? It's because I ate it. It's because I ate it. But hello, Mauser. Sniffer. Sneef Snorf, hello, Spencer. Time to pick our favorite flavor of crayons. Blue is always the best flavor. I agree. I actually have a colleague who doesn't like I guess blue colored, or as she calls it, blue flavored things, which I totally get, you know, but I love blue. I love, you know, the blueberry Jolly Rancher and just blue, you know. I like it. I like it. Purple. And the glue stick. You guys can have the glue stick. Don't eat too much of it, though. Especially the purple glue stick. The invisible glue purple glue stick. Yeah. What way do you guys like when you have to paste something with like the invisible purple glue stick? What's your technique? Do you do zigzags on the paper before you stick it? Do you do a big X? Do you do like dots? What's the strat? Because I think I just did zigzags. Because I always had crappy glue sticks too. Like you needed to put as much, like you needed to cover that surface with glue stick in order for it to work, and sometimes it just wouldn't work. You know? Invisible flavor, exactly. Art! Sklimbo is now blue flavored dog boy. He is. I love blue. Dabba-dee-dabba-die. Blue raspberry is the goated flavor. Yes, I agree. Prod, hello. We're talking about flavors. Before we even started, I like blue. I like blue. Though, if we're talking about like Jolly Ranchers and like those flavors, I'm a big fan of green. I'm a big fan of like green apple. I think that's my favorite. And a close second is like anything that's pink or red. You know, like watermelon, strawberry. Maybe not cherry. Cherry I don't hate, but because I had cherry medicine before I had cherry, like cherries or cherry flavored candy, I always associate cherry with medicine. So it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Let me go ahead and put on some music first, and then we'll go ahead and get started. We have some dailies to do, including a new daily that Matthew told me about today that Sklimbo did. I just wasn't there for it because I had back-to-back meetings today. So let's see, what's everyone's glue stick strat? So I see Pexicle saying, around the perimeter, then an X inside for good measure. Nice. Green is good, right? Green apple. I love green apple. I'm a fan of sour and tart flavors. But before we continue on, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get to class. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. It's me, Babinka Bear, your local Sun Bear art history teacher and educational streamer. And today we're going to be doing some art. We're going to learn about art, and then we're going to do some art. Look. Oh, dang it. Give me a second. The screensaver's on. Look. It's KIDPIX. Actually, let me exit out of this. Return to picker. Just so that no, I don't want to save actually. Return to picker. No. And then exit out of this. Look, it's Windows 95? I want to say it's Windows 95 or 98. I forget which one. Yeah. It's really 90s, right? I have used this emulator before, this like Windows 98 emulator before. But it's been a minute. Oh, you guys hear the music? Let me know if it's loud. Doo-doo-doo.
Paint a picture.
Yeah. We're gonna be exploring abstract expressionism. Yeah, Detective Barbie Pog. 90s AF, right? I remember when my computer looked like that, right? Doesn't it have like a strange, well, depending on your experiences with it, it has like a strange, I don't know, comfort in it. I remember as well. I associate KIDPIX with like, I was in like probably the 2nd or 3rd grade, and we had a brand new, grand spanking computer lab. We had a new computer lab in our school, and it was those
like box computers. Hey, why would you shrink me? Why would you shrink me? Is it because I'm nostalgic? No!
Slices of
American cheese! Wait, I want the cheese. It's gonna hit the magnifying glass. No. That's my cheese. No. Why would you do such a thing? But yeah, wait, let me put the volume up on the jazz, by the way, so you can hear it. There we go.
But other than, there we go, I'm back to normal size. It's floor cheese now! No, I'll pick it up the floor. 5-second rule, you know? But yeah, the first time I used this program over here, KIDPIX, I was like in the 2nd or 3rd grade, maybe even 1st grade. In my elementary school, we had a brand new computer lab with like the box computers, right? And we had to play Math Blaster first for like a certain amount of time, and then we could play KIDPIX, and we can make like little houses and stuff. But before we do that, we do have a couple of things that we're going to do before that, though. Let me put the browser back on. We have our dailies. We have our yaps. We can yap about the day, right? What did I do today? I had work from home, but it's one of the first days. Oh, I should tell you guys. I probably mentioned this during my Monday stream. But I'll say it again. So I do have a personal trainer now, and it's Sklimbo. It's VTuber male in the flesh. So I'm one of his few clients for the personal training thing, and we had our first meeting on Sunday. And I think I told you guys all about this on Monday, but Tuesday and Wednesday is when I actually went to the gym and I tried to apply a lot of what he was telling me. He just told me like 2 things basically, because he hasn't given me a specialized workout plan or like nutrition plan just yet, because this first week is just like kind of intake and like just experimenting with some very small changes. So like I'm not changing my diet at all, but I am counting my calories, you know, just so I can see like what's my usual like intake of calories. And then I usually go to the gym after my office job on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and it's been pretty chill. Like I've been going off and on for a little over a year now. But for this week, Sklimbo was like, oh, try to push yourself a little bit more to work to what's called failure, as in like what I've been doing is I've just been trying to like work at a lower weight just so that I have my form proper, right? Like I have proper form, I'm doing the machines properly, you know? So I was like okay with doing that, but I've been doing lighter weights, and he was like, when you work out, like basically like working towards failure means like you have to push yourself so that like once you're doing that very last set, like even if you know, had a squirt bottle to your head, you could not do another one, you know, like you were working at basically your limit. So I tried that. Oh, and he also said to go slower, because like I had a habit of like because I work out on the machines just because like my anxiety my anxiety prevents me from going up to the worker people and being like, hey, can you teach me the proper form for the dumbbells and the barbells? I've been too scared. There's even a guy there. I think I told you guys this story, but there's a guy at my gym. He obviously works there. He has like a desk and everything. And his desk happens to be right next to the stationary bicycles where I do my cardio. So like I walk by him every time, but I've never once like said hi to him and like or introduced myself and stuff like that. But there was one day where I was walking past his desk over to the bicycles, and he had to I think like we were about to like basically cross paths, you know, and he looked up at me and he's just like, oh hey, what's up? And he like gave me a little I forgot if he gave me a high five or he gave me like one of those like, you know, like elbow nudges, you know. And like I said, I've never said hello to this guy like ever. so this was like a surprise. He just like immediately treated me with like familiarity. He's just like, oh hey you, what's up? And I'm just like, I'm good, and just walked on over to the yo Mega Bronson, hello, thank you for the raid. How you doing? How was your stream? How was your chatting? How was the yapping? We're doing a little bit of yapping ourselves before we do our dailies for the day. I was talking about gym stuff and how there's this guy that works at the gym that I'm too anxious to like ask him how to like do the barbell stuff. But he seems very familiar with me. He's just saying hello to me and stuff, even though I never introduced myself. And I'm just like, oh. Bronson raid. Hello Fugubi. Hello Mega Bronson. Let me know how your stream went. If you guys have to raid and run, no worries at all. But of course, if you guys want to stick around, we're going to be doing our dailies. We're going to be learning about abstract expressionism. And then we're going to be making art on KIDPIX, the 90's program. It was all good. Talk to our slug friend about food. Our slug friend. Oh, yes. The yellow banana slug, right? Nice. I'll catch up on the VOD. I'd like to hear more about that conversation. Especially if we're talking about like Filipino food, for example. But yeah, I was just talking about how like, yeah, there's this guy that works at the gym. I want to ask him how to like properly use the dumbbells and barbells, but I'm just too scared and anxious. But he has no problem saying hi to me. So so maybe I should just be like, hey person, you don't have anyone at your desk? Can I just ask you a couple questions? So there's that. But Sklimbo was telling me, for one, try to work to failure, and then for two, slow down. Because whenever I do the machines, I do it pretty fast. And he was saying that, because I wasn't sure if there was any difference. You know, I wasn't sure if there was any difference between, like, I thought it was like, as long as you're doing, like, the weight that you want to do, is there any difference between fast and slow? So I assumed there wasn't a difference. So I've been doing them fast, you know, to just kind of like, you know, get it over with. But for one, I think that's like, I think you are kind of cheating yourself out of like a proper workout. Skimbo didn't say this. This is just more so like what I observed. I think if you do it fast, you're kind of like cheating yourself out of it because you're more so using like the velocity of the movement to help you lift the weight, if that makes sense, right? Like you're not actually pulling it with your strength, you're using the velocity of like, let's say that you're pulling something, you're using the velocity of the pull to help you rather than using your own strength. So that's one reason. The other reason is exactly what Mega Bronson just said. Sklimbo said that like if you do it fast, that's essentially cardio. If you do it slow, you're actually testing your strength. So that's literally exactly what Sklimbo told me. So I've been trying to, one, work towards failure, so higher weights, and then two, go slower. And boy, has it been whooping my butt. It wasn't anything crazy, but we might be craving izakaya. Yo, I was craving Filipino desserts today. I might try to see where the nearest Red Ribbon and or Goldilocks and or Filipino bakery is. I've been craving mamon specifically, like the sponge cake. So I don't know. I might want to get some sometime soon. Maybe even cake. Nah, you know what? I shouldn't build up too many calories, especially since I'm trying to be on my fitness arc right now. But yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday worked out. I'm sore. I'm so incredibly sore. I can't really even lift my arms. Like, let me show you right now. Even just doing this, it hurts a little bit, you know? Just a teensy bit. It hurts a bit. And then I did legs yesterday. I made the mistake that you see on a lot of like, you know, workout memes where people do the abduction and the adduction machine. The one where you're like, you either start out with your legs together and you're like spreading them apart, or you do the reverse where you start with them apart and you like pull them like closed. And a lot of people underestimate that and they just put the weight super high because it's like, oh, this is easy. This is an easy machine to do, right? And then the thing is, the next day, you can't walk. So I won't say that I made that same mistake, but I will say that I was one of those people that's like, oh, this machine is easy. And now look at my legs. You can't because they're under the desk, but look at just trust me when I say that my legs are sore. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Today I had the place to myself because everyone either went to the office or their respective workplace. So I had the place to myself with the cats. So I was working on recording shorts. So I now have a second short that is done, pretty much. But like I said, I'm kind of holding off on actually posting it because I want to like get into the habit of making like 3 or 5 shorts and then post them like once a week. Just so that like if I have a week where it's really busy, I'm not super behind on uploading. So I still have like a consistent schedule. But it's been fun. It's been fun learning video editing. It's been fun learning to like kind of find my voice with like recording and stuff like that. So yeah. I just realized you could see from my model that I'm like I'm on my like little like rotatey chair. You'd see me rotating the chair. But anyway, I think that's all I really had to do today other than, and also whenever I have the place to myself, I have my own little impromptu karaoke. My little solo karaoke just for me. I was singing a lot of Kenshi Yonezu songs. And I feel like I do like Kenshi Yonezu for one as an artist, but also because his vocal range, he can go really low and really high, but I feel like his like default vocal range is kind of perfect for my voice. So yeah, you've fallen for the trap. Now you can't block when Sklimbo or Mr. Pancakes jumps out and starts fist fighting you. No! No, Sklimbo would never. Mr. Pancakes is a maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. But Sklimbo is a gentle soul. He would never fist fight me. Unless. But yeah. So for today, we're going to be learning about art. I did only start research. We kind of went over abstract expressionism when we were doing our decade study on the 40s. We lightly touched on it. I yapped about it. I also recently talked about how like my opinion on like Mark Rothko and his color field paintings has changed drastically. So let's see if that happens with Jackson Pollock. And if you guys aren't familiar with those names, I will go over them. But I do also want to do our dailies first. So we actually have 4 dailies that we're going to be doing today. We might just do half and half. No, we might do 3 first, and then we'll save Anthropium for the very end. But let's do daily hue. And then Matthew introduced me to one that Sklimbo had done. And it actually has to do with you guys. Has to do with chat. But I'll keep that as a surprise. We'll do daily hue first and then time guesser. So, alright, daily hue, let's go ahead and guess the color of this one. This is a chrysanthemum. I think they come in different colors, right? Chrysanthemums. So right now we're starting with like this vibrant blue, but could it maybe actually be a yellow? Or maybe some kind of pink? Or maybe a blue? Maybe not green, but let's try yellow first. Yeah, let's make it desaturated, almost white. And then, yeah, let's make it like super white and see if that does anything. No! Let's see, so that's a 45, that's not too good. But that helps us to know at least what it's not. Yo, Battlecrackers, hello. Yeah, Daily Hue's a fun one. I'll link it in the chat right now. You're basically given a painting and you have to guess what the main color of it is. And there are little hints. There are little hints. So for example, like here at the bottom, I had guessed this color that's like an off-white. So the hue is in yellow. That means we're not too far off, but maybe it's a little bit more, so it's not like pink or red, for example. So maybe it's like a yellow-green. Saturation is way off because it's like red, and lightness is way off. So we're thinking darker and more saturated. Oh, is that what chrysanthemums? Is that what chrysanthemums look like? Let's guess this like chartreuse green color. Let's see what happens. Oh, 6, 7. All right, so we're getting closer. Hue, we could shift it a little bit more closer to yellow. So they're looking like dandelions. Saturation, we're also not too far off. That's desaturated just a smidge. And then lightness, we should go a little bit more towards the middle. Oh, so these are like, maybe like a golden color? Alright, let's try the golden color. 92, we're really close. We got lightness on the dot. So now we just have to figure out the hue and saturation. Let's see, we did 42, 62, and 51. And we're really close. It looks like it's closer to 42, so let's do like 47. 47 for the hue. So it's still like a gold. Saturation can go down a little bit. Maybe like 70. Let's do 69. Nice. Nice! Nice, nice, nice. It's an amber color. Cool, cool. Thanks for the lurk, Spencer. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and share that in the Discord. Daily games. Paste. Okay, let's see what we have here with the color. So we have a dark, strong amber. A vibrant, saturated yellow mid-tone from Naples yellow to Van Gogh's sunflower fields. This family has driven entire movements. I feel like they say that about every color, don't they? But okay, so chrysanthemums, this is... Oh, we don't have an artist attached to this. Interesting. So American 19th century, 4th quarter 19th century. We had something like that before, like I think on Monday. Our work didn't have an artist attached. It was just like American 19th century. So this one is the chrysanthemums in this painting fill the composition with dense clusters of flowers, making the arrangement feel full without needing a complicated background. Get a feeling so complicated. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's see, any other works with this dark, strong amber? We have a vase. Standing woman, Jean-Jacques Henner. Landscape with boatman, Theodore Rousseau. Ooh, this looks pretty interesting. What is this, Sam Francis? Yo, I think Sam Francis is the guy I was talking about when me and Beans went to the Norton Simon. Like, I saw like this huge canvas, kind of like splatter art. I think Sam Francis was the artist for that. He's American, 1923 to 1994, published by Tamarin Lithography Workshop. Yo, Archimeth, hello, hello. We're doing some daily games first before we talk about art and then make art. So cool. It looks like he has a history of doing these like kind of splatter paintings. Oh, and then you also have the Pierre Mondrian, this kind of like minimalist art. Let's see, Thomas Paine, self-portrait. Henri Fontaine Latour. Ooh, this one looks cool. Oh, this is a Van Gogh. Yo, that super vibrant yellow is really cool. Love that. Cool, cool, cool. All right, in that case, let's go ahead and move on. Yo, hello, Nap. Thank you for the 30 stream streak. Nice, nice. And let's go ahead and go on to Time Guesser. And then I'm pretty excited for the next one, the Who Done Chat. Pretty excited for that. But let's go ahead and do our best with Time Guesser. So we got some interesting cars here. This one, so the fenders, the thing that like hide the, or kind of cover the wheels on this car, it's super big. So I wonder if this is some kind of like a racing car. There's super big fenders here. They're not fully incorporated in the overall kind of like shell of the car. And then here we're seeing some vertical grills. Grill mention. Some vertical grills, which makes me think this could be late 30s to early 40s. Let's try that. Let's do 38. And then location. Maybe England? Look, they're driving on the left side over here. And then driving towards us on the right. I don't know what this label is, unfortunately, or this like logo. And this guy looks like a constable, constable, right? Maybe this is Jolly England. I'm not sure actually. But let's try it. Let's say that it's London in the 1930s, I guess. Actually, this would be the start of the war, right? Or like near the start of it. Let's just make a guess anyway. Nice, it was London. Late 30s, we were a year off. Nice. You got a license for that? What's a license? A London policeman stopping a motorist on the mall during the late 30s with traffic heading towards Admiralty Arch in the background. Okay. That emblem is an odd one. Looks like Maybach. Oh, cool, cool. Nice. And we got pretty close. We got pretty close with this one. Okay. Next up, Kusinen. Okay. That kind of sounds like kusina, the word for kitchen, or at least I think in Tagalog it's kusina, but in Spanish it's cocina, right? Cocina. And then my mata instrument. There's like double letters. This one like kuusinen, and then this other one over here, the my mata. Wait, maybe this is photo my mata. Let's see. Where is this? The cars also look like they're very similar to the one that we saw in the first picture, right? Where like the fenders are really kind of out there. So I'm wondering if this is maybe 40s, maybe even 50s, because this one over here looks kind of boxy. The skirts and the dresses are kind of shorter too, so I'm wondering if this is like post World War II. Actually, this guy has kind of longer, curlier hair. So maybe this might even be 60s. Let's say like early 60s. Especially with this like beetle over here, right? The only thing is the location I'm actually not 100% sure on. Wait, there's a flag here. Is that... I mean, that kind of looks like the Union Jack, right? Like, I don't know, there's like a lot of lines on there, but I can't really make it out too much. Do we have another one in England? Oh no, there's other flags. Whoa. Let's see. That guy straight up looks like Ringo Starr. What if he is? What if this is like the Beatles on tour or something like that? Unfortunately, I can't read what this says. Kind of looks like winter green, but... Wait, are they also driving on the... Look, they're driving on the left side over here. Could this really be England again? No, actually! No. I'm wrong. They're driving on the right side. Wait, what does this say? Not enough girls fainting around him. Isn't that a VW Beetle? Post WW2, I think. Ah, okay. I'm thinking 60s. What does it say? Iki Fanzer? Part of me is like thinking maybe Finnish, right? Oh, same thing with Battle Crackers. Kuusinen sounds like Finnish. Let's try it out. I'm also thinking Finnish. There's also these ladies with like kind of more traditional looking clothing. So I don't know. A part of me is also thinking maybe either Finnish. Let's do 1962 Helsinki. Nice. The W feels Finnish, right? Yeah, I agree. And we got it. So early 70s. Street scene in Helsinki with two women dressed in traditional Finnish kale attire, or kale attire. Characterized by long, heavy skirts and detailed blouses, the kale are Finnish romantic community whose ancestors originated in South Asia and reached Finland in the 16th century. Oh, that's pretty cool! SAMMI clothing. Yeah, I guess it's Romani. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know about that, that community. Cool. Alright, so round 3. Let's see, yours truly, no parking, restaurant, Canzoneri Grill. I'm getting like America vibes from this. Does it say Buttery? Yeah, I'm getting America vibes from this. Could this maybe be like New York or something? Oh, is this the parade? Look, it's the Thanksgiving parade, the Macy's Day Parade. There's like the Sears logo over here. I mean, yeah, would that not make this New York City? Bootery sounds like a euphemism for but. 'Tis the bootery, where one may order fresh piles of butt. The thing is, where does like what's the actual like pathway of the Macy's Day Parade? Actually, does it take place in New York? Now I'm like questioning myself. Because I only know where like the Rose Parade takes place. I know exactly where that takes place. I know that the Macy's Day Parade, you know, exists. But it does? Okay, cool. So at least we've narrowed it down that way. Let's just put it somewhere here in Brooklyn. And then let's see, clothing wise, what's the time periods? You just gotta find the Macy's? Wouldn't there be like many Macy's? Wouldn't every mall, or is it different? Is it different? A lot of the guys here are wearing hats. A lot of the women are wearing kind of like head coverings. Part of me is wondering if this is like 50s. Yo, Madam Inu, hello. Thank you for the raid. How you doing? Oh, you were playing Moonlighter. Hello. For those who don't know me, my name's Babinka Bear. I'm your local Sun Bear art history teacher and educational streamer. And today we're doing some daily games. First, we're playing Time Guesser. But later on in the stream, we're going to be learning about abstract art and trying to make our own abstract art. But hello. How you guys doing? Yeah, we're trying to figure out where this picture is from. We've narrowed it down to like New York because of this like Thanksgiving Day parade over here. But the time period wise, we're looking at things like the hats. Greetings from the Midnight Museum. Awesome possum. Hello. I wonder if this is like maybe 50s or 40s, like post-war, you know? Let's try the 50s. Like maybe 57, New York. Make a guess. 2 years off, not bad. Oh, and we weren't too far off either. Spectators crowding the sidewalks along Broadway to watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in Manhattan during the late 50s. Not bad. Good to see you again, dear. Good to see you too. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're just having our usual art talks, you know. I was actually probably on TV once during the Thanksgiving parade when I was little. I was not in NYC, but I was at the performance at the Opryland Hotel. Oh, that's so cool. It's always been a dream of mine to go to the Rose Parade in Los Bincos, in my neck of the woods. But the thing is, in order to go to it, you have to camp out the night before, which is New Year's Eve, and I'm kind of not down for that. So, but it's been a tradition for me to watch it every year. So part of me is like, should I ever make the trip out? But then that would just be suffering. Fairly tired, but it's been a good month. I'm glad to hear that. By the way, if you do have to like get some rest after your stream, if you have to do some post-stream care, no worries at all. We're just going to be having our usual art talks here if you do want to stay behind. But I'm glad it's been a good month for you. That's good to hear. I feel like a lot of people have like mixed experiences throughout the month. That makes me happy. I do need a break. I have work in the morning. Yeah, feel free to take a break. And thank you again for the raid. Thank you. Let's see, where is this? Salon de l'Auto et Accessoires. I think this is French. Or at the very least, a French-speaking part of the world, right? But the thing is, are we in France? Are we in Switzerland? Are we in Quebec? Salon de Auto. What's this? Palexpo Genève? Something about that feels kind of Swiss. Sassonex? Centre de Congrès? Banque? I mean, is this just the Swiss flag, you know? Is this just the Swiss flag? But we're raising money for St. Jude since the first... Oh, nice! That's so nice. Awesome, awesome. What a good cause. This car looks like it's 80s. I'm gonna go ahead and say like 85. Let's say Switzerland. It might just be France, it might just be Quebec, but I'm not entirely sure, so... Let's say Geneva. Oh! What did I do? What the... I think I accidentally... Oh, I think I clicked on this, the Apple Maps thing. Oopsie poopsie. Okay. Geneva? Yo! Nice, nice, nice. Visitors gathered outside ticket booths at the Palexpo Exhibition Center during the 58th Geneva International Motor Show. Ah. I feel like, did I read Geneva somewhere? A part of me was like, something... Oh, here! Genève, right? Because a part of me was like, why did I think Geneva? Yo, Mr. Cool, hello. Car! We're on the last round. Oh, I wonder. We're on the last round of Time Guesser for today. Dolphin Super Deluxe HT. Cool. Nahil? So here's the thing, there's a German flag, but also like the desert kind of like atmosphere here, the like landscape is making me think that maybe this isn't Germany? Or maybe it's just like a beach. But then I'm also seeing this, which looks like it's Arabic, right? And even this like this Latin text, Nahil, sounds like it would be Arabic. Gulf Craft, Honda. Right? Like what if it's like a German family? I smell oil. Right? It's mentioning a Gulf. What if it's this one, the Persian Gulf, right? What if it's Dubai, for example? Because especially with these like big buildings in the kind of like in the distance there, but there's also like the German flag. I don't know. Maybe we're overthinking it. Maybe it is just Germany, you know. But let's take a chance. Let's say it's 2000s. 2000s Dubai. Oh, not too far off. What is that? Is that just a bunch of islands? Wait. Two men viewing Dubai's developing skyline, including the nearly completed Burj Khalifa, from a motorboat moored off Germany Island? They got a whole island? Like, part of the World Project, an ambitious artificial archipelago designed to replicate a map of the world with 300 man-made islands off the coast of the UAE. Oh, I see. The big buildings feel Dubai. Right. It was kind of like this kind of like desert area over here with the big buildings is like that feels like Dubai. But like the German flag was like, that's a red herring. That's a red herring. But all right, I think we did pretty good. We got to the 45K mark. I feel like that's a rarity sometimes. Let's post that. We're gonna save Anthropium for the end. I do love doing Anthropium, but we're gonna save it for the end. But there is another daily that I do want to do. Matthew told me about this one. It has to do with you guys. It's called Who Done Chat. I just have to put my name on here. Bibinka Bear. And it looks through the chats of I guess like the VODs that are still up on my Twitch channel. It doesn't look like it goes through like every single like stream I've ever done. I think it's only like whatever VODs are still up. And then it looks into like basically chat messages. And let's see. Is there any way to make it so that there's no time limit? But I have to guess who sent the chat message. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Cool. Yeah, it's who said this. Let's see, 10 exhibits on the clock, the long read. I did the daily earlier today, but I think it resets UTC. So I think it's reset already. So let's try to. I think there is a time limit, so I might not be able to like read out all the answers. I might just have to answer, you know. So let's do this. Let's freaking do it. Pulling the files. Collecting emotes. Pulling the files. Oh, we're starting right away. He doesn't drink either. He's just meeting 500 people in one day. Oh, Owen. Okay. Oh, that was talking about Sklimbo. Yeah, we gotta be on the net. We gotta be on the net. Let's say prod. Nice. You guys are making money in the VTuber community? That feels like a church thing to say. That feels like church. What if we talk about Fuddruckers, the restaurant? I promise I'm not switching letters. I promise. That sounds so familiar. I feel like it's Sotenbori. Yes. Casper Cattuccini emotes. It's gotta be HDTQW5. There we go. Mika having cool adventures, little cutesy face. I feel like that's Ghosty. Ghosty uses those emotes. Or that little, like, emoticon. The cloth feels Renaissance to me, but that's vibes. Oh, I feel like it could be any one of these people. I'm gonna say Nina. No, it was Baxter Crook. Can you link it, please? Maybe Ractoony? Nice. And then I have pics if you want, I can DM. Oh, pics. Oh, it was Gale talking about his cosplay. Sounds like a model kit building stream. Oh, is that not Jurge? It's Fugubi or Mega Bronson. Fugubi? Nice. 2 online. 2 online. The long read doesn't have a clock. Ah, let's do that. This is actually pretty fun. Lamau. They're really calling me 2 online. What if I just know you guys? What if I just love my chat? What if I just love my students? Did they think about that? Let's copy the verdict. And then let's do the, which one did Pexicle say? The long read. Let's do that one. Back to the front page. I have to put my name again. Bubinka Bear. Endless 5 strikes on the clock. Okay, let's do this one. Let's see. She's too good. She's on to us, Bubinkups. I need to try this. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Okay, open the case. Let's do this. There's no time limit, so I could just read it out, right? Okay. Oh my god, have you seen there's gonna be a new Digimon anime in 2027 after Beat Break? Ooh, beeplebees? That feels very beeplebees. Wait, I thought there was no time limit! I liked Beyond Impossible the first time, but I got sick of it fast. I think... Oh, I thought that was Mauser. I think it's Baxter? Yeah, there we go. Yoshi Uemura is so goated. I agree, and I feel like that might be Vera. Nice. You like art history? Name every art! That's Nap. That's like 100% Nap. JLG. Oh no, all 3 of them were part of a JLG! Cielo? Because that's her emote. Sounds like The Tower. I think, Idol, because we were talking about, tarot, right? Pretentious, arrogant, dumb, mostly apparently it can mean some kind of sweet, but I'm having trouble. Oh, we were talking about Momon. Sotenbori? Okay, I like building an immunity to being fooled? Could never be me. It's Bronson or Mauser. Bronson? Nice. You and Choa must be a Filipino thing. Oh, that's Devin. 100%. 100%. Oh, emotes. Emotes. Who is this? It's either Aenir or Luminous. Or all 3 of them. Aenir? Okay. He did one in this cup. That feels like Luminous. That feels like Luminous Bard. Good job today, Battlecrackers. Have a— Oh, that's just... That's my bot. That's literally me. Isn't she also a big fighting game fan too? Oh, I don't... Fugubi? He got that dog in him. It was wild. Teal? No, it was Prod. Grandpa Core, Alexa Play Thrift Shop by Macklemore. That feels Matthew. Could be Owen. Or Toei! Yeah, he's probably Matthew. Creeper painting is so much harder to pull off than creeper photo, I think. What was that about? Battlecrackers? Nice. Emotes, that's HETQW5. Shocking amount of Doki Bird stuff in there. What's that in reaction to? I'm wondering what the context was. I've had fish cakes, but I think it was basically fish balls. Ghosty? I feel like. Sounds like something I would make after school as a kid. What's that in reference to? Let's say Gojikins. Nice. Mama Bear needs her Diet Coke. Thought it might work. Oh, I know who that is. That's Chillstoner 420. I also didn't realize how hard it was to use paint. Kale? I'm on a roll, you guys. When I got to Guild House, you were gone that- Wait! No! No! I thought it was Owen, but Owen wasn't a choice. Goldilocks has the pattern that is the same as private school uniform. Oh, that's Nina? Make me want fish cakes over here? Ooh. Plata? Nah, it was Mauser. Your reflection said, this bear is dwunk. Mayshark? Yeah. I don't think he was Southeast Asian. George? I still have teachers using the wheeled-in projector when I was in high school. We're still underfunded. I think that was Soot, right? No, it was Ractoony. The weather was so nice in SJ. Owen? My Filipino friend said the pineapple curry reminded them of Filipino dish. Wait, Filipino curry? When were we talking about that? Oh, how many more lives do it? People trash can monitor. It makes me so sad! That was Mr. Cool. I remember. No problem with that either. Oh, this was in response to Folk. Matthew? Ah, we went on for a while. Nice. That was pretty fun. See? I do like you guys. I listen to you guys. Don't ever think I never listen to you guys. Wait, let me catch up on chat now that that's over. She's too good. They lied to us. Rigged? Hey, I gotta mention. You did! That was me talking about the woman in tub painting. Yes! Yes! The type. Is it just infinite? It was infinite. How far back does this game look back? I thought it was just however many VODs you still have on Twitch, because you know how they expire after about 2 weeks? I thought it was only like up to 2 weeks, but because there were some mentions of Offkai in there, I feel like maybe for the month at the very least. Terminally online. Good evening, church. It you. Holy parasocial. I mean, good job. What do you mean? What do you mean? I just pay attention to you guys, as a good teacher should. I just pay attention to when you guys are being naughty and passing notes and trying to pay Mr. Pancakes to not put you in detention and all the things. I just pay attention. Totally get it. Exactly. So alright, yeah, there we go. We are officially to parasocial only goes one way. Exactly. Towards me, not me to you. It's you to me. I have to make sure no one gets dragged off or eaten in my place. No, don't worry about that. Teacher buff. Exactly. I remember who said things. That was fun though. That was fun. If you guys also want to try this out for yourselves on your own respective streams, here is the link. It's a lot of fun. So, just know that like there is a timer for each one of them, so you don't have time to like look at chat or even read it all out. So, yeah. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's go ahead and get started with Anthropium. I mean, not Anthropium, with some art. Before we do that though, so the whole point of today's stream is I wanted to play this game, KIDPIX. We have played it before. Actually, I should bring this back. Oh, the screensaver is on. There we go. So, yeah, we have this program here, KIDPIX. Hi, peeping cubs. I'm just doing this with mouse. Peeping cubs. And let me draw you guys. Oh, this is not turning out the way I wanted to, but it's okay. Oh, this is lovely. This is, look, it's you guys. Spitting image, don't you think? Holy 90s, right? Yeah, this is actually running on an emulator that's running Windows 98 right now, so very 90s indeed. But yeah, so I wanted to play this game, KIDPIX. It's a childhood favorite, but I wanted to specifically explore the realm of abstract expressionism, which is an art style that we went over when we were going over our decade studies of the 40s and 50s. But I did also do a little bit of research, as opposed to our decade study where I kind of just focused on like art that came out during that decade. This one is kind of like a more of a broad view of abstract expressionism in general, with a focus on two artists, Janet Sobel and Jackson Pollock. So there's a lot of artists that are kind of under the umbrella of abstract expressionism. So, but we're only going to focus on these two for now. But first, actually, let me get my stream manager out so that I can see your guys' messages if need be. Okay. So yeah, we already kind of like went through some of these. So abstract expressionism, aka the New York School, but just for kind of like a review. This is an art style that came about right at the end of World War II. So if we, you know what, let's go back to our decade study. It's gonna take a while for the images to load, but I think it will help us to at least build some context around what this art style is. If it will load. Yeah, it's gonna take a minute. There's a lot of images in this file, so actually the relevant ones that we need are already kind of loaded up. But this was when we were talking about the 1940s, so this is coming right out of World War II. We've seen before that big things like world wars do spawn strange things, including strange art styles, and kind of like the hallmark of that, in my opinion, is the development of Dada and surrealism after World War One, because World War One rendered life just so absurd because of all of the like horrific acts of warfare and all of that. That's where like surrealism and Dada came from. So it kind of makes sense that after having yet another war in which Dada, my beloved, yes, I'm shaking your hand. I'm shaking your hand, Adam. But it makes sense that like after having it again, after having yet another big war with a lot of horrific acts and actions and all of that, dirty deeds done dirt cheap and all of that, I miss it. It makes sense that there would be yet another really experimental art style that came out of it. So one of the art styles that came out of that was abstract expressionism. So it was very much a reaction to the trauma of World War II. And the big idea with abstract expressionism is that instead of painting things that gave you a feeling, like for example, if we go to expressionism all the way back in like the 1910s, you got stuff like this one, The Scream. Right, this is an example of expressionism, of like OG expressionism, where the whole point of it was to make you feel a feeling. You know, like for this one, it's like terror or screaming, or like whimsy or happiness. So the whole thing is to make you feel a feeling. The thing with abstract expressionism is, for one, it's abstract as in like it doesn't show any recognizable figures, but two, it was trying to portray the feeling itself. So not a painting that made you feel a feeling, but the feeling itself. So with this, a lot of artists were starting to experiment with how they did that. The most famous ones are probably Jackson Pollock, who did these drip paintings, which is what we're going to try to imitate today. And then Mark Rothko, who did these color field paintings, where he did like just hundreds of layers, thin layers of paint in order to get this kind of like iridescent, gigantic painting. So same thing also with Pollock, is that his canvases are freaking huge. Like, they're humongous. So like, it was almost like a performance art in and of itself for him to paint these like big splatters on these big canvases. So he's very well known for that, but he wasn't the first one. Actually, there was another artist named Janet Sobel who kind of like experimented with this style in a different way. But she kind of predates Jackson Pollock, even though he's kind of the more famous example. It's interesting how different mediums cope with it. Film coped completely differently than paintings. They're so impressive, you can't really talk about them without seeing them. 100%. Yeah, I'm glad you understand, Mr. Cole. Yeah, a lot of these, like, they do, like, photos of them don't always do them justice. Like, online photos of them don't always do them justice. Like, seeing them in person really does make a difference. Sometimes seeing them more than once as well. Like I felt that way with like a really abstract piece that I saw at the Norton Simon this past weekend. Because at first when I came into the room, I was like, ah, what is this, you know? But the more that me and Beans kind of sat down and just looked at it and just kind of like admired, for one, how big the canvas is, but also thought a lot about what the process was to make artwork on such a large canvas, then it started to make a little bit more sense. Yeah, you definitely need some more time with some of these paintings, 100%. So we'll talk a little bit about Janet Sobel and Jackson Pollock, but first let me see if there's anything else. There is an interesting thing about this that I think also helped to change my perception of artists like Jackson Pollock and Mark Rothko, because for a long time with a lot of these more abstract works, there was this sense of like, this is how I felt. There was a sense of like, oh, these guys are only famous because they're rich, you know? Like, people wouldn't care about these paintings if it weren't for the fact that they already had money. But the thing is, I decided to delve into that. I decided to, like, research if that was even true. Because while that might be true for a lot of contemporary art nowadays, it might have not necessarily been true for a lot of art back in the 40s and 50s. Although, of course, that was probably, like, something that contributed to that. But when I did my research, I don't know, I found something really wild. It kind of borders on conspiracy theory because the CIA is involved. But it's interesting to say the least. But before we do that, let's go ahead and look at first Jackson Pollock and then or you know what? Let's look at Janet Sobel first and then Jackson Pollock. So Jackson Pollock is kind of the most famous for doing these like drip paintings, as they call them, but Janet Sobel predates that. So she started out a little bit closer to the, I believe, 1930s and 40s. Janet Sobel is a Ukrainian-born painter, and by the time she started painting, she was already a grandmother. Can't have a subversive art movement without the CIA. They love art. It's crazy what I found out. It's crazy. I was like, the CIA is involved with this? Interesting. So yeah, Janet Sobel was already a grandmother by the time she started painting, which I think that in and of itself is really inspiring, because I feel like a lot of people assume that like if you don't grow up an artist, you will just never be an artist, and that can't be further from the truth. And I also kind of use myself as an example, because even though so I did draw as a kid, but I never called myself like an artist, and I was always unhappy with how my art turned out. I even remember this specific part where like I either bought at like a book fair or my parents got me this like how to draw Sonic the Hedgehog like book. Like it was one of those like paperback like kind of like thin books, but I remember having this. And the thing is I didn't even grow up being like a big fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. like I never played any of the Sonic games, and I barely even watched like the show when it was on like Fox Kids and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I had this book, and I remember at first I was like really getting the hang of like drawing Sonic, because his design is pretty easy. It's a circle with like, you know, a couple more circles for the eyes. But I remember for some reason I just couldn't get certain parts of it, and I got frustrated. I remember I got so frustrated that I just like took, I think like a crayon or a pencil, and I just scribbled all over the page, you know, like out of frustration and anger. And I was just like, I'm never gonna get this. This sucks. And that was when I was a kid. So for a long time, I just considered art to not be my thing, you know? I think around that time too, I like started middle school. I started getting more into like playing cello. So I thought that music was gonna be my thing, or like performing arts. And that also panned a different way than I expected. But it wasn't until after I graduated with my degree, my bachelor's degree, and I think my master's too, actually, because it was like, yeah, 2018 when I started taking art classes. We do have an ad break coming up, by the way, but let's see if I can finish my thought. But after I finished my master's degree, I decided to go back to school, but specifically to take art classes, mostly for fun. And what I found was, because I had already done these things like, you know, presented a master's like thesis in front of an audience, and like I had been part of like my Filipino group. You know what? I'm just gonna pause. I'm just gonna snooze the ad just so I can finish this thought. Hello, Ghosty. But because I had done all these things that kind of challenged myself and my shyness, and like I was a little bit more confident in myself, when I signed up for art classes,
It just felt like it came easier if that makes sense. Like, art just felt easier because I also had the confidence behind it. This sense of like
64
slices of American cheese. Yeah, give me the cheese. No, not the magnifying glass cheese. But yeah, like it just like worked out in a very interesting way that like my art skills weren't great. Like at that point, once again, at this point I'm like 28.
You know, I'm 28, so I wasn't young, but my brain was fully formed at the very least. And like when I took these art classes, I don't know, like I wasn't super frustrated if I got something wrong. It was just kind of part of the process. And it almost felt like you know, it almost felt like following a formula. Like if I had just followed the formula that my teachers had given me, then I ended up with art that I was kind of proud of. So I don't know, I do feel like confidence sometimes does go hand in hand with like at least starting out art. Yeah. So let me catch up on chat because I just saw George's message and I want to get some context on that. Let's see, which was in the Big Lebowski, was it now? I remember that one. It was always in the school library. Yeah, the Sonic the Hedgehog one. I had the How to Draw Mecha one. That's sick because I feel like we need more people that know how to draw mecha. How to Draw Anime really changed me. I had that book too. I had the How to Draw Anime one. So hello, Ghosty, you got your sticker. I saw that book several years ago and saw how much I improved since middle school. That's the thing too, is that like I feel like for a lot of beginner artists, they compare themselves to other people when really you should just be comparing to yourself. Like in ye olden days. Let's see. Hello, Ghosty. Hello. Good to see you. Mag and cheese. Good. Stay out of art. I don't need competition. Stay out of the West Side. Stay out of... Are you talking about the West Side? And Mega Bronson, you got your sticker. But yeah, that's just my little spiel on like how to draw mecha. That's so easy. Just draw a cube. Draw a cube with decorations and just draw people around it. Easy. GG easy. More artists. Add more artists. Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, like, so for me, I didn't start art until I was 28. And then here in the case of Janet Sobel, she didn't start until she was already a grandmother. You know? So it's doable. If you want to get into art and you feel like it's just not your thing, make it your thing. Make it your thing. You're never too old to learn. Never, never, never. But yeah, so I think at this point I will start that ad break. I need to get some more water. We're gonna talk a little bit more. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit more about the art, and then we'll make some art. Don't regret that you never did. Exactly. If you want to get into art, do it. You aren't dead yet. Exactly. Do it. Don't let your dreams just be dreams. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and start that ad break. You could always practice, and that's better than nothing. Exactly. Exactly. So let's go ahead and start that ad break. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, we are back. So welcome back from the ad break. I'm ready to talk a little bit more about art. Let's see. And then have a good lurk, Ghosty. Thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead and get back to class. Alright, so yeah, we were talking about Janet Sobel and how, like, she started art at a relatively older age. There's I'm not sure if it's true or not, but the folk, like, kind of origin of her beginning art apparently is when, like, her son was painting something. Her son was already, I think, either an older teenager or an adult by this point, and she had critiqued the art, and the son had gotten so mad at her critiquing that he kind of, like, threw his paints and all his supplies to the floor, and he was like, you know what, if you think you're so smart, why don't you do it? Why don't you make some paints? Why don't you, like, make some paintings? And she did. She did, which she does both figurative, aka it, like, looks like something that's recognizable, and abstract works, which we'll take a look at right now, actually. Let's go ahead and take a look. So it's kind of hard to see this photo isn't great quality, but she does do some figurative work. This is like a whole bunch, there's like a crowd of people among what I'm assuming is like trees or flowers. But it also looks like she did some experimentation where, like, it started out as figurative and then eventually became more abstract. And I think this is a good example because this kind of has, like, a person. It looks like the profile of a person. Like, you'd see hair, you could see a nose, you could see eyes, you could see maybe a beard. But then they're surrounded by, like, these tree branch looking things that look like they have flowers or, like, specks of paint on them that could represent flowers. This kind of looks like thorns, but it could also be, like, hair that continues from this figure. So, like, it seems like they kind of experiment one way or another. Just like this is where you got the skill now. This is where you got the skill, now your place. Yeah. So she experimented, and she's kind of like one of the first people to do this kind of like drip style painting. And honestly, I kind of prefer her style just because of, like, her use of color. She also has this, she does this thing where, like, she tries to fill every part of the canvas, and that's something that you would think Pollock has, and he does showcase it in a lot of his art, but there's some art where some parts of the canvas are just, like, not covered at all. I'm not sure if this is a good example, but all these white spaces, I believe, are just the canvas, like the canvas underneath. I guess I don't have an example here, but there are a couple where, like, I think the edges of this one, for example, the edges of this one, you can see that there are some parts that are a little bit unpainted. But it's more explicit with Janet Sobel's work that she really wants to cover every inch of the canvas with some kind of paint, with some kind of texture, with some kind of design. So yeah, I kind of prefer her work a little bit more, especially because, like, I'm wondering how she did things like this. Like, this definitely seems like she dripped paint onto it, but then within the paint itself, there's, like, this kind of iridescent, kind of, like, pearlescent coloring on it, and I'm just so curious on how she did that, you know? It, like, within the drips itself, there's, like, this, like, iridescent quality to it, and it's like you don't really see that in, like, Jackson Pollock's. Like, here you just see, like, here he used white paint, here he used orange, here he used purple, here he used, like, a chartreuse, you know? This is just black. You don't see any other colors kind of, like, inside of it, unlike Janet Sobel's, where it's like this paint is, like, yellow, but then here it, like, is more of a green, and here is, like, pink, but then some parts of it are also more purple. It's like, how did she do that, you know? Is it just, like, many successive layers of paint, you think? This one is also really cool. I might want to try to imitate this one because, like you see, like, the purple and the red paint over it and the black paint over it, and how, like, sometimes it mixes. Like, here you can kind of see, like, the black and the red are mixing together. You can see that, but then how did she do the bottom? Like, is that glitter, you think? Like, it looks like so many little grains of something. Maybe she used sand, maybe she used glitter. And remember, not all that glitters is gold. You know? Like, there's just so much more texture. And, like, I kind of like the color mixing here, too. Like, for me, there's just a little bit more, like, energy to it. This too. Here, she really seems to be like really like. I think that's what I'm really liking about her style, along with Jackson Pollock's, is that like with this style of drip painting, you can almost see exactly what movements they did. Like if you imagine someone just like they put this canvas on the floor. Here, I have a picture for you guys. Here, like put the canvas on the floor, and you can kind of see him like kind of walking around, like throwing paint, dripping paint on it. You can kind of see his pathway, and I feel like you could do the same with a little bit of Janet Sobel's work. For one, I'm wondering how big this canvas is, right? And also like if she was able to actually walk on top of it, or if she was like kind of like hovering above it with like, I don't know, a crane or something like that, or maybe some scaffolding. But you can kind of like almost trace her path here. Like if you take like this pink paint, for one, I also like her color theory. I like that she used like a bright pink with like a Hatsune Miku teal. So you can see, like, maybe she started over here, and then you can kind of trace the path that she took. And this isn't necessarily the path that she's walking, but maybe she's, like, over here. Maybe she's standing here on the edge of the painting, and she's just, like, kind of, you know, letting the paint drip from her, from, like, a bucket or a brush, you know? Dude, like, look at this color theory. Like, look at the bright pink, the pastel pink with this kind of, like, baby blue. And like I said, with the Hatsune Miku teal, the big yellow, like contrasted with the black, I just love it. I love her color theory so much. So, like with this in mind, she was a direct inspiration to Jackson Pollock. This is what he looks like. This is his passport photo. And yeah, Pollock is an interesting one. Let's see. It has such a depth to it. Yes, I agree. I agree. So Pollock definitely, even though like I don't prefer his style, it's still an interesting one nonetheless. Like I definitely prefer Sobel's a little bit more. But he has a very kind of like unique style that kind of like, if you compare these two, you can kind of set them apart, right? Like his feels a little bit more wild. What I put here is that it's more gestural. Daily Hue will see one of these paintings take, Yeah, can you imagine doing a daily hue on one of these? Take a color and call it its signature color. Oh my gosh. Dude, yeah, for Sobel's, that would be so hard. Like, I feel like you could do it with like the pink, right? Maybe the purple in this one. But for like Jackson Pollock, oh my god, dude. Like which color would they do? Maybe the teal, right? Maybe this teal color, but I would freaking have an aneurysm. She does lay the colors a little better, makes you look at it closer and deeper. Yeah, right? I think that's why I prefer Sobel's a little bit more. But yeah, so Pollock's works are very gestural, as in like, if you could definitely see like the path in which Sobel dripped her paint, you could see this guy was probably like walking on top of the canvas, you know? Either that or like throwing the paint, you know? I feel like there is a little bit more of like an aggression in his works. At least from the videos that I watched about him and his personality and his history, he definitely seemed a little bit more like associated with like machismo, and aggression. He actually didn't really like when critics would say that his paintings looked random, which I just find that funny. Like bro was crashing out. Like, you get the motion he depended on. Yeah. Exactly. I kind of get why like he would crash out at that kind of critique, but there is kind of a little bit of humor in that. But what I put here is that like his work has been compared to jazz music, in that like you can kind of see the improvisation around it. Even though he didn't like that his work was being called random, you know? I'm getting a bit aggressive about what passes for art. Might have been a sore spot, right? Because apparently there was a study in 1999 that said that like you could see what's called fractals in his artwork, as in like if you see certain patterns in nature, like for example, like if you plant two trees close to each other, they might not always sprout in that way because, you know, like if you go into the biology of it, like the nutrients are sucked away by one tree, so they don't support the other tree. But there's certain like rules in nature of like how things like pine cones develop, how things like branches branch out from like the main trunk of the tree. These are called fractals. And apparently there was a study in 1999 saying that you could see some of these fractals in Pollock's art, that it wasn't really random, that he did actually structure a lot of his works in a certain way. I know it's hard to see that. like when I see this, it does feel random. It does kind of feel like he took certain colors and just kind of like sprayed them all over the place. Like he kind of just took his brush, as you can see here, and just kind of like splattered it however, like whichever way it went, you know? It kind of looks like that. But, you know, it seems like there was kind of like a method to the madness in a way. I wouldn't be able to point it out, but if there was a study, you know, if there was a study. But also, like, I think another reason why he didn't really like this idea of his artwork being random is because there was a lot of inspiration that he took from it. So he took a lot of inspiration from Navajo sand painting, in which, like, that is kind of like very gestural. There is like these large sweeping movements. He also took a lot of inspiration from Mexican muralism and American regionalism. And these are things that we did discuss during our decade studies. But if you're unfamiliar with it, rules of nature mention the strongest color eats the weaker one. I kind of like that as like an art idea, like as an art concept. Like, you know, like what's that game? It was like Flitter.io or something like that. Where it's like, yeah, why doesn't the smaller, weaker color simply get eaten by the bigger, stronger color? That's a good idea. I really like that. Right? So around the 1930s, there was this style called regionalism, which was kind of like, it was a reaction to like Dada but also like modern art from like from Europe. And it was meant to kind of show like regional art, as in like the regions of like the Midwest, conservative traditionalist art, alongside Mexican muralism, which was made kind of in the wake of the Mexican Revolution. So a lot of these were like, it might be like, how did this inspire Jackson Pollock to do his drip paintings, right? How did this inspire Jackson Pollock? The answer is scale. The Futurama clip, yes. The artist took inspiration from a random chatter at Twitch. Me for real, when you guys see my art, right? So it's the scale. So a lot of these, especially the Mexican murals, are very large in scale. And there wasn't necessarily a, even though you do see like proper proportions here, right? Like proper proportions. There was also this sense of like, you can also go big, you know, like go big or go home. Like you can also move your brush in a way where it's sweeping, it's big, it's broad. And that's kind of like what inspiration Jackson Pollock took from that, where it's like brush strokes don't need to be small and minute and carefully, you know, like, you know, put on the canvas and stuff. They can be big, they can be huge. So that's kind of like what one of the ways that he kind of took inspiration from that. Let's see. Oh yeah, and I talked about the fractals and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of like the spawn of his, like the inspiration is like this idea of like big sweeping brush movements across the canvas. It doesn't need to be small. Like you could go big. I've been loving the way that my chat comes up with when they have a subject, right? Our chats are pretty good. Pretty good. Don't tell them I said that. But you do kind of see it. You do kind of see it with like some of his artwork. However you feel about Jackson Pollock's artwork, you do kind of see like at least where the inspiration came from. And there are certain parts that I also put this here because it's an early example of his artwork, where you definitely kind of see the inspiration, where you see like him experimenting with like, he's painting things that look like they could be figurative, but then he's kind of like experimenting. Tell them what, don't tell them that I would ever compliment them. But yeah, this work I actually like. These like more vibrantly colored ones I kind of like a little bit more. It's like these kind of more like desaturated drab ones that I'm kind of whatever about, but these ones like they feel like they're exploding with life, you know? And the technique definitely feels a little bit like different and like almost like aggressive compared to Sobel's, right? So yeah, that is kind of like the inspiration that we're going to be working off with today's art. But before I move on to making art, there's one more thing that I want to talk about, and it's the freaking CIA. I mean, our beloved overlords, the CIA. So how did this kind of artwork, this and like let's say like Mark Rothko's and Klein's paintings, how did they, you know, get super famous, right? Especially considering that, contrary to popular belief, not a lot of these artists had a lot of money. They weren't rich. They did eventually, like, you know, get rich from like selling some of their paintings, but a lot of them are like children of immigrants, or they immigrated themselves. So how did their artwork make it to the spotlight? The answer is a little bit of CIA propaganda. So to set some of the context, this is post World War II. But we are getting into the Cold War as well, because this art was also popular during the 50s. So getting into the Cold War, the Soviet Union was using more socialist realist art to kind of show this idea of like of socialism, to create propaganda that showed that like this is what life could be like in a socialist place. The CIA and the US by extension, they wanted to contrast that. So I'm gonna zoom into just this. I don't have any pictures to go along with this. This is just what I found from like some of my resources. So during the Cold War, the CIA quietly supported abstract expressionism as a purely American style that promoted freedom of expression in contrast to communist Russia, to the Soviet Union. So instead of this like kind of really strict realist artwork, the CIA and America wanted to show that like, no, this is the land of the free, you know, like people can make whatever art they want. They can show like art that isn't, you know, held back by European standards. This isn't even inspired by Europe. Like there were earlier American styles, but they were always inspired by European styles. So this was like what they considered the first American artwork. And they would do this by funding organizations like the Congress of Cultural Freedom to promote and sell the works of Pollock and Rothko, specifically, like those two artists, but also like a bunch of these other artists as well. However, this was against the wishes of the artists themselves, which that's the part that kind of like shocked me. I kind of thought they would be like, oh, I'm selling more paintings? Hell yeah, man. Like, I'm making my dollar. I'm getting myself like a good life by selling these paintings. Why not? Sure, Mr. CIA agent, sell my artwork. Why not? But the thing is, a lot of these artists were actually left-leaning, anti-establishment, and hostile to the idea of government support. They were like, no, this is not what I want. That's like, imagine like a punk band being like, no, we want to be like strictly grassroots. We want to be like with the community. We want to be in tune with the community. And for the CIA to be like, you know what? This is the sound we want. We're going to promote this kind of punk music and, you know, just like, just have it like floating around. Imagine being the punk band that like falls victim to that. They're like, this isn't what we wanted. Like, this isn't what we wanted, you know? We want it to be anti-establishment. Why is the establishment working with us? Because another thing that this does too, because you see this even nowadays, is that like like think about like a corporation latching onto a trend that started out as kind of like an organic internet thing. Like imagine a McDonald's commercial that references like 6-7, or like an Uber commercial that references like Labubu's or whatever the next like gotcha thing is. By doing that, it kind of also depowers that movement. By taking something that's like anti-establishment and making it part of the establishment, it kind of weakens that movement. So that's another reason why these artists were also kind of upset about that. Because for one, it makes it look like their art is aligned with the establishment. It's aligned with the big government. And it kind of also depowers it. Suddenly, like, this isn't so, like, experimental. This isn't so, like, against the grain, because now it is the mainstream. So you can see why a lot of artists, including Pollock and Rothko, were upset about this. It's like, no, dude, I just wanted to make art to make art. I wanted to make art to make a statement. I didn't want it to be, like, the mainstream. This feels whack. They can easily revoke all the checks. That too. Hello, HDTQW5. Hello. But yeah, I don't know. That was so wild to me because, like I said, for a long time, I kind of like dismissed a lot of this kind of art. I was like, yeah, you know, like people just like it because it's made by rich people, and that's the only reason why people know about it. And it turns out, no. against their wishes. Against their wishes, it wasn't made popular. And it's just interesting to think about. I'll say that. Interesting to think about. But with that, let's go ahead and get into making our own art that will hopefully not be seized by the CIA and used against our will for propaganders. So let's see. Let's navigate to my Windows 98. Bring that back. So, yeah, let's go ahead and make some art. One can always hope, right? Right? Actually, let me move my window so that I can still see chat as well. So it's funny, I'm using an emulator to emulate Windows 98 right now, and the window is very small. It's so small that I can put it over my OBS window and still see chat and still see my whole setup, which I think is pretty cool. So, yeah, this is Windows 98. Speaking of Windows 98, are we talking about Ringo Starr's $9,000 MS Paint art? I don't think we have. Also, hello, Zako. Hello. We did, when we were playing Time Guster, we did see someone who looked like Ringo Starr. First, let's go ahead and erase this. So if you've never played with KIDPIX before, this program, it's fun because everything you do has a little sound effect. Do let me know if it's a little too loud, but, you know, it's stuff like that. We got like sound effects up the wazoo. But even when you erase stuff, like I kind of want to like, you know, you do that. Even when you erase stuff, there's like big sound effects. So let me show you. Let's do the dynamite. Boom. Do let me know if the sound is too loud or too soft. I can definitely adjust it. But yeah, so with everything that we learned about abstract expressionism, let's go ahead and make our own artwork. I was playing with this a little bit earlier, and I was trying to see what brushes would work for this. We had this in my elementary school. Yeah, me too, me too. We had to play Math Blaster first. We had to learn our math first, and then we can make art with KIDPIX. So I was playing around with some brushes. I think this brush would be perfect if it weren't so big, you know, because like it's nice and gloopy, right? Did this come out before or after Mario Paint? You know, I've actually never played with Mario Paint. Is it similar? I actually like have no frame of reference for Mario Paint at all, so. But yeah, as you can see, there's like different sound effects. So that brush works well. There's also a couple that work well if you don't drag it, but if you just do like a singular little click, you know? This one might be a cool one to experiment with. Especially if we want to go for like a Janet Sobel thing. Study Island, I've never heard of that one. Missed that site. This is another cool one because it's drips. See, look at that. We got some drip painting. I don't like the sound for that one, but it's Pac-Man. This one I think magnifies. There we go. Which I think is cool, but it does, we kind of want to go with like what, like, you know, the spirit of like abstract expressionism. We're kind of imagining that we're just using like paint and canvas, you know? This is a cool effect. But like if we're imagining that we're doing this traditionally, normally you wouldn't be able to do something like that. So oh, this one looks like this one feels like a spray can actually. Let's use another color. So we can do that. I like this one as well. It has a little bit more of a like old school Windows 98 feel, but this also feels very much like painterly. There's more options down here. These ones we're not gonna use, but just to kind of like demonstrate what they look like. You do stuff like that. Yeah, like that. This one's cool because it just does like random colors. And then this one, it has like a symmetry thing going on. So yeah, lots of cool tools. They all come with like cute little sound effects. Oh, I don't like that sound. I don't like that sound at all. What's this one? Yeah, so we might not play with a lot of the ones on these pages, but we might use the, oh yeah, I remember I would like play with this one. I would make little bricks and make like a house. You know, I would do that all the time. I would try to make a house. But let's go ahead and erase all this and then we'll get started proper. Another thing that I did was I put on some jazz music because that was one of Jackson Pollock's inspirations as well. Let me put it a little bit louder. And I think conceptually what I might want to go with is I actually unironically want to go with Pexicle's idea of like let's make the idea around it be like, oh, maybe like a battle of the colors, right? Of like colors just kind of like battling it out, and like whatever is the quote-unquote strongest color wins. I don't know how we'll do that, but let's just experiment, right? Let's just have some fun with it. So let's try another erasing tool. Let's do this one. Oh, cool. So, alright, let's do this. You're down for it? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's start first with this, like, big brush. Let's see. We'll start with, like, a random color. We'll start with something subtle, like a gray, right? Teal, hello, hello. We're playing an old art-making game called KIDPIX. And we're trying to make our own abstract art. So I'm gonna combine Pexicle's idea also with the art of more so Janet Sobel. Cause like I said, I just prefer her style a little bit more. And I think the one that I want to specifically try to emulate is this one, because I just like how, like I said, there's like glitter or like something granular in the background. It looks like she maybe did like colors first, then put some kind of grain or sand or gold on top of it, and then did these cool like paint drips that kind of mix together. So let's try doing something like that along with like Pexicle's idea of like the strongest color wins. So I want to try something like subtle first, like this kind of like light gray color, right? So this kind of feels, this feels pretty cool. Let's kind of like mix it up. We'll start with like some like monochrome colors first, and then we'll go stronger and stronger, right? Maybe that's how we'll do it. We'll go desaturated colors to like more saturated colors. And once again, with like Sobel's art, she really tried to make sure that like the whole canvas was like filled up. So let's make sure that there's no like little white spots, right? Try to take out all of the like underlying canvas as much as we can. The only thing that I don't really like excuse me. The only thing that I think is kind of missing from this experience is opacity. And opacity is basically like how transparent a color is. I feel like that we could benefit a lot from some like transparency effects to really make it feel more like painterly, you know? Alright, let's start adding a little bit of color, but something like desaturated, just to start us off. Maybe something like this like purple color? Maybe we'll... Oh, it's not even a purple, it's like a plum. Like a plum color. What do I want to play with? Maybe... What is this one? Oh yeah, what if we do this one? Oh yeah, this one feels good because you can kind of like paint with it a little bit more. All right, stronger color. Let's get a stronger color to like take over. It adds like some pretty good texture too. It feels like I'm really like using a brush and just like painting over it, you know? I also wish there was a way to change the brush size, too. Let's go back to, like, the plum color. Maybe we go towards this instead. Ooh, that one's nice. It's, like, lighter. And you know what? We might end up covering up this, like, layer of, like, circles and stuff, but I think that's fine as well. Oh, I feel like the green might be too much. Let's do a blue first. Because we're trying to build up our saturation. It's a battle of the colors. Strongest color wins. Right? This brush feels really cool. I like it. Okay, let's go with this like green. I don't know if I like this color scheme. Maybe we'll keep it to like these kind of like more pastel-y ones. Let's actually build up the color a little bit. There we go. We can have touches of green, like underlying though. We'll leave a little bit of green on there. There you go. Let's bring back this color. Battle of the colors. And then what else can we play with? Oh yeah, there's like the spray paint effect. Maybe that's Actually, let's bring back this one. I think we can start introducing some more vibrant colors now. I think I do want the green to make an appearance, but later on. Okay, the colors are getting more saturated. Okay, I think I want to start playing around with this like kind of spray can effect. Ooh, okay. Ooh, I like that texture. Especially like the pink over the like, what is that, like a milky brown, you know? What if we make it a little bit more vibrant? Something like this. Actually, the pink is kind of already pretty vibrant. So now it feels like pink is winning in this battle of the colors, right? I think we might want to introduce a green because I feel like that will overpower. I'm trying to think of like my philosophy now is like what color is gonna overpower whatever the leading color is, right? Oh, we lost visuals? No! Oh, I didn't realize. Has it not been showing this entire time? Oopsie poopsie. Well, now you can see what I've been working with. So right now the pink is kind of like the most like dominant color. And then I've been kind of playing around with like this on the lower left side is like this color scheme. This kind of like this mix of like purple, brown, and pink. The purple is kind of like overpowering it. But I think I want to introduce a green. I think I want to go crazy with it a little bit. So let's try it out. Ooh, it looks gold. Damn, it's looking really good. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. I didn't realize, that was my bad because like I had the actual KIDPIX window was covering the screen. Oh, it only happened very recently. Okay, good. Ooh, the green is actually doing pretty good. I kind of like how it looks. We might play around with some other brushes that really like make it overpower the color a little bit more. Like, what if we do this one? Oh. It's almost, yeah, we're introducing like more texture into it. Might be too strong though. Ooh, okay. How do we feel about those sound effects? Yeah, you know what? Let's make green the like overpowering color. I kind of want to make it kind of like, you know, with Janet's Sobels, you can kind of see the path that she took. I want to make it so that you can also see like that, right? Like you can kind of follow the beads of color and see how I made it. I'm thinking if we should introduce another color. Maybe we'll keep the vibrant green. Let's see how that mixes with everything that we have so far. Interesting, it's turning it a little bit more to the blue side. What if we go the opposite way, like here? I think I might like this one more because it's almost like a matcha green. There's something kind of like almost therapeutic about doing art like this. I don't know, like this idea of like, it's not just like a single layer on top of the canvas, it's like multiple layers. And yeah, you're probably gonna cover up some layers that you thought were pretty banger. But that's, I don't know, that I feel like that's just part of it, you know? I'm wondering if we could just introduce a blue now. Or this like kind of purple blue. Maybe like very lightly. And then, I kind of want to start introducing the drips. You know? Kind of like I said with like Janet Sobel's work. She has these like cool drips, but then they start to mix into each other. I'm wondering how we can do that. I'm wondering if like, there's this little like blender thing, but I don't know. I'm kind of scared. There is an undo button, but I'm kind of scared, you know? But you know what? That's kind of part of it. So let's do some drips. Maybe with like a really strong color. We've been doing like some pastels and some desaturated colors. So let's get something vibrant. Let's get something like super vibrant. I'm scared though. I'm scared. Okay, this like, I guess periwinkle? Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. This is fun. Oh. Okay, I kind of want to try something. What happens when we might use the undo button, but kind of want to see what happens when we like play with this. Like, whoa! Okay, it definitely like messed with the whole work. I kind of want to see, we undid it. What happens when we do this? Oh! No. We have to imagine that we're doing traditional, right? What does this do? Oh, that's interesting. It's very gradual. It's very blink and you'll miss it, right? But the more you do it, the more it actually kind of reminds me of like actual drip paintings. It moves certain columns down a little bit whenever I click. What about this? Oh, too much. There's more effects. There's more. I think I want to stick with this one. This is a cool effect because it definitely goes with what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to do like drip paintings. So let's try another color. Maybe this like purple, and then maybe we'll go to this like more plum purple. Let's keep on just playing around with this. And then this like deeper color. Oh, that's like super vibrant. Kind of experimenting with what Janet Sobel did in like certain areas just have like completely different color combinations next to each other. So maybe this is like the green just kind of like lives here with the blue, but then there's like a whole area that's just like more so for the purple colors. And then let's play around with that like mixing effect. This thing again. Oh, like that. Oh, that's so cool. I like that. It really makes it feel like drippy, you know? And it's getting pixelated too, which I think is like an unintended consequence, but I kind of like it. What does the clown do? Oh, never mind. I don't like that. Undo. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's pretty cool. Yeah, right? Right? The result we're getting is pretty cool, especially because we're just working within like one color palette. I kind of want to experiment more. I'm just wondering what with. Gotta get to bed, but catch you next time. Thank you! Thank you for dropping by, Inu. Thank you for the rave, but also thank you for appreciating the art with me. I appreciate you. Have some good rest. Have some good rest. Alright, let's keep on keeping on. It clowns on your work! I know. The clown just clowns on it all. It gets rid of all the color, all the spirit. I really like actually how this is turning out because you could still see the underlying like pinks and little like browns in the background. But now in the foreground is like the more, you know, like vibrant, you know, like ooh, that's a good color too. The more vibrant and like deeper colors as well. And then what else do I want to play around with? I feel like this effect would be too much, like this one. See, it'd be too much. So we're just gonna keep with like the drip, and then we're just gonna kind of like play around with like where it lives. Oh, I wonder. You know, we'll bring back the pink actually. What happens when we bring it back? Nah, you know what?
Uh-oh.
Let's keep it to the deeper colors. That little pink like line over here can still live there, but I kind of like the darker colors being kind of in the forefront. Is there anything else we can play around with? What's this one? Oh, it just makes little like loop-de-loops. Actually, that might be fun to play around with. Let's do some loop-de-loops. Doink, 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 doink. Let's put this vibrant green here. What happens then? What happens then, huh? And then I'm just gonna keep on, I think we're actually like almost done. I want to keep on playing around with this effect. And then I want to see what happens with these other kind of like Blender-esque effects. Like what happens here? Oh, I don't like that.
Uh-oh.
What about this? Ooh, that's pretty cool too, but no, that's a little too much. What about this one? That's also cool. How about this? Oh! It like messes it up in a cool way. What about this one? Oh, it stretches it! It's like we're stretching the canvas! Wait, I kinda like that. I kinda like that. What are some of these ones? Alright, let's just experiment now. I feel like we're like near the end. Oh, makes it negative. So now we're just playing around. Oh, that's kind of like we really splattered paint on top of all of it. I don't know if I like that. Whoa, that's sick. Maybe that's like a good way to like end it, but... Oh my god. You know what this reminds me of? Like this. It reminds me... It reminds me of the ending to, what's it called? Death Note? One of the endings had like Light's head just vibrating like this. And what about this one? Oh, that like completely rearranges it. It's almost like we're cutting the canvas up and like overlaying it on each other, right? What's this one? Oh, I don't like that either. These are all cool effects. Like, I feel like if we weren't like kind of locked into doing abstract expressionism, I'd be down to like come back to this and make even more like, I don't know, examples of this, but like using more of these effects. Oh, zoomed in. Super zoomed in.
Oops.
Like all these look sick. Like something like this, that looks awesome. Ugh. How about this? Ooh, it kind of dithers it. That moves it just a teensy bit. What's this one? And this one just like adds little trinkets to it. So far, the ones that feel like the closest to like working with traditional art are this one. It's almost like you're pouring water on top of it, and then this one feels like you're stretching the canvas. What about this one? Oh, it really messes it up. Oops. Oh, we didn't play with this one. Ah! Okay, what I'm thinking is, how much time do we have? Like I might want to make one more. I think I'm gonna like call this one done, but I think I want to make another one with like maybe like another color scheme. So I'm thinking I might want to finish off with like one of these cool effects that I like so much. Is it this one? Oh, that zooms it in.
Oops.
This one does that. What does this one do? Yeah, it makes it vibrate, that's right. Oh, that one's like intense. That one deserves like a warning. Like a content warning. Maybe just one click of this. Yeah! There you go! Or maybe, is that too much, you think? Is that too much? Let's randomize it. Let's do one light click. Click! Ah, too much, too much. It's always like a little bit too much. I just want like a little bit of yeah, like that. Perfect. Or is it? I'm indecisive. There we go. That's perfect. The circle was kind of like using a sponge to smudge the paint. Ah. The circle one. Is it this one? Oh, nope. That one zooms in. Maybe this one? Ooh, that one adds like cool spider webs. What about this one? Wah! Yeah, that one kind of is like smudging. What about this one? Oh, that's a cool effect too. It like adds something on top. It's almost like you're adding little like sprinkles on top of it. That's a cool one. But I think I want to save this one. Unfortunately, it's going to save this as a bitmap. So I'm just going to go ahead and print screen this. Hello? Print screen? Oh, I think I have to come out of the emulator and print screen from my own dang computer. Print screen. No? I can't print screen? Uh-oh. Is this like blocking my print screen ability? Let's see. Come on, take a screenshot. Say the line, Bart. It's not letting me print screen. Oh no. Should I just save it from the VOD then? Oh no. Maybe there's a way I can take a screenshot right now. Take a photo of the screen? I could. Oh, here, take a screenshot. Oh, I don't know where that ends up though. Where does... I clicked the button on the emulator saying take a screenshot, but I don't know where that ends up. Let me look real quick. Let's see, retro games. 86 box. Where does it go? Where does the screenshot go? Sound, video, network, machines, icons. Maybe it's in downloads? Maybe it's on my clipboard? So if I paste it, will it show up? Oh, that's interesting. So my print screen does work, but it doesn't do like the snip tool thing. But oh well, whatever. Whatever. Right, let's do one more. I kind of want to do one more and then we'll call it. So it's time to blow this one up. Alright, which one? Oh, let's do the countdown. The countdown was a fun one when I was a kid. Ready?
5,
4, 3, 2, 1.
0.
And it's all gone. Huh? Alright, let's do another one. Let's just go ahead and do another one. Let's use another color scheme. Maybe this like sunset one? Ooh, this one's interesting. It's very neon. It's gonna be very bright. So let's play around with it. Let's use a lot of the same techniques from last time. So we'll start first with... I wonder what happens when we start with vibrant colors first and then we go to the more desaturated ones, right? So let's cover the canvas first. Let's use like green. Oh, this is like super vibrant. Hurts the eyes just a little bit. This is kind of like a very tutti fruity kind of a color scheme, right? Tutti fruity, fresh and fruity. Right, it's a cool color scheme. I dig it. Can you dig it? Okay, that's a good kind of base layer. Let's see. Oh yeah, we want to play around with like these colors and this brush. There you go. And you know what? I keep doing this thing where I try to like kind of like fill a corner with color, but what if we just wander, right? What if we just wander? We make it a little bit more randomized. You know, against the wishes of Jackson Pollock, we do a little bit of randomization here, you know? Let's pick like an orange color, orange. Cause like in the first one, I did this thing where it was like, oh, make sure that this whole corner is like covered. But no, let's play around with it. Let's be loose and free. I want to be free. This kind of reminds me of like funnel cake or like pretzels or something. Pink? Oh, that's like super vibrant pink. Oh yeah, I think we said that we were doing like super vibrant first and then... Oh, I might have already messed that up, but whatever, whatever. Ooh, that's super vibrant. Like super vibrant and then go to like desaturated. We already did that color. Oh, let's do green. Let's do green. This is kind of reminding me of like a very specific type of bubblegum in the 90s. Oh, this is so bright. Alright, let's put some more granular things in the middle there. Let's put these like light yellow ones. Ooh. What about... Oh yeah, this one. Some spray. I feel like that adds a lot of texture to it. And I kind of like covering the entire canvas with this effect too. It just adds a little bit more texture to it. At least the edges, right? Oh yeah, there's a lot of texture in this now that I think about it. Okay, I kind of want to play with, was it this one? Oh yeah, we already did that one. How about this one? Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's use another color though. Let's use like this bright blue. And maybe like the pink. I noticed that I tried to like get the corners first, but then that means that there's like a lot of empty space in the center. So let's fix that. Use green. God, yeah, this art is very like tutti fruity, fresh and fruity. It feels like almost like a very specific subset of like Y2K, like late 90s to early like Y2K kind of like fashion. Like it's different from like the chrome. But it's almost like you can imagine someone wearing like a spaghetti strap outfit with like, I don't know, like the long pants spaghetti strap outfit, you know, which of course like the school system will not let you wear. God forbid a girl shows shoulders. Back in ye olden times. But like it's like this color scheme, right? I don't know, that's what this is reminding me of. Alright, looks like we're kind of like covering a lot of the canvas at this point. I think now, let's put the drips. Let's put the drips in. Let's start with the... Let's start with light pink first. Ah. The thing with starting vibrant and then going lighter is that the foreground color is getting kind of lost, you know? Like the background is getting a little bit more attention color-wise. I am enjoying this process though. This like doing zigzags with the drips. This is kind of fun. Alright, let's do some like effects. Yeah, this one. Oh, that's interesting. Like I'm pressing the thing to make it like do the... Oh, no, here we go. There we go. Ooh, okay. That's giving us a really, really interesting effect. Alright, let's stretch out the canvas. Stretch it out. Was it this one? Ooh. Oh yeah, that makes it like zoom in a little bit, right? Let's undo that. Let's keep on playing around with like the drip paint. But also I wonder what happens when we like... There we go. Let's introduce a color like that. Oh, and mix it with the green. That'd be cool. Yeah, what happens when we do like How about we'll reintroduce some of the vibrant color. Ooh. You're just a little... Alright, we do have our last ad break coming up. But I think... Actually, you know what? I think we'll just snooze the rest of the ad breaks. We're gonna finish this one up and I think we're gonna call it. Because I'm pretty satisfied with this. I'm pretty satisfied. I actually like the first one a little bit better, but I'm pretty satisfied. I would say I'm satisfied with this. So let's just finish this one up. And then we'll, oh yeah, there we go. Let's put a little bit of spray paint. I think the super vibrant pink is gonna be the hero of this piece. The main thing, if you will. Alright, let's do a couple more effects and then we're done. We are done. And I think at this point we can use other effects. I think I'll allow myself to use other effects. Like the rug in the arcades back in the 90s. That's the nicest thing I've ever heard about this art piece. Let's do more of that like stretchy stretch. There we go. The drip drip. The stretch stretch. This one? Ooh. Yeah, this is almost feels like we poured water on the whole thing. Phew. What about this one? Yeah, that's also a really cool effect. Is it this one? Ooh. Oh no. Oh no. I know how I feel about the zoom in one. I think I still want to like play around a little bit more with... What does this one do? Oh, that's right.
Uh-oh.
Alright, I think I'm just gonna keep playing around with this effect. This effect. And not that one. This one? I'm indecisive. I can't... Actually, I didn't even check out what this does. Oh, it flips it. Oh, interesting. This one is actually a cool effect because it almost feels like we're cutting out a piece of the canvas and we're like overlaying it on top. So I think we'll actually just finish off with like playing around with this effect. Alright. Alright, yeah. I think we're good. Let me see if I can print screen. And then we'll start our mosh pit. Print screen. Alright, there we go. Hello, Gojikins. You're just in time for the mosh pit. Let me make sure that there are no incoming raids. Okay. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. It's just kind of fun to... Just in time for rigged. It's not rigged. It's not. I don't know. I have a lot of fun with this. Like, making abstract art, like I said, isn't like my forte at all. But even just playing around with something like a 90s kids art making program is just a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend it. You don't need a Windows 98 emulator in order to make art like this, by the way. I found out accidentally that... Oh, we didn't do Anthropium. Oopsie. But I found out if you just Google KIDPIX, there is a browser version. Here, I'll put this right here. You know what? Let's do Anthropium really quick. I won't linger too much on it. And then we'll do the mosh pit. Alright? Yeah, this is the browser version. Pretty cool. We can make our own art on here. So if you want to make similar art, we'll do it next time on the browser version. But let's do Anthropium, and then we'll call it from there. So, alright, what is this looking like? What do we have here? This looks kind of Renaissance, right? This looks like something from the Odyssey. This looks like something from the Odyssey for some reason. Either Roman or Renaissance. I want to say Renaissance. Something about this like silver work feels very kind of Renaissance. Let's do body. 15 to 1600s, submit guess. Ooh, it's Italian. It's Italian. But that is the right time period. Ooh, I love this. Geometric shapes. It feels indigenous. The colors also feel indigenous. I kind of want to say Pueblo. Let's check it out. And then let's say, yeah, closer to contemporary. Ooh, oh, it's Peruvian. It's Chimu. We gotta find out more about Chimu culture. We keep getting some Chimu stuff. Snooze that ad. Next round. Oh, easy. This is easy. Benin City, Nigeria. A little bit after the 1500s. Yep. Easy peasy. What is this? Oh. Is this maybe a cloth? Or a sash? Various creatures on it? This feels kind of like an Indonesian batik. Cotton, tassar, silk, plain weave, embroidered. Oh, these are cool. That actually makes me think maybe like medieval then. Maybe this is medieval? You know what? No, let's go with my gut feeling first. Let's do Indonesia. Let's do here, Jakarta. 1500, submit guess. Ooh, not too far off. It's India. It's a mantle or apron. Okay, what is this? This looks like a belt, like a really old belt. It's made out of leather. Ooh, that does not help me at all. Maybe Arctic, because you would probably need more leather there. Let's say that it's Bering Strait. 1000 CE. Nope. Completely wrong. It's in the Caucasus. Okay. The Caucasus, a little off in terms of time. Not too much. A cross? Yo, look at those hands. Ooh, actually, the proportions are making me wonder if this is African. Maybe Ethiopian? Let's do Ethiopia. Yeah, Ethiopia. Addis Ababa. Let's do it like 1000 CE? Submit guess. Ooh, was African, was not Ethiopian, but Congo at the very least. Ooh, East Asian. East Asian, is this China, Korea, or Japan? I'm thinking maybe Japan because of how the foliage looks. Even though this is Hanzi. Oh, it's chock full of Hanzi. Let's say it is Japan. What is this, hand scroll? Let's do 1500s. Submit guess. Nice. Nice. Round 8. Oh, that is Asclepius. That is a Greek god. The Greek god of healing. But this could also be a Roman copy. Whoa. Let's do here. Marble relief with Hermes. Oh, that's not Asclepius. Yeah, that's actually Hermes' stuff. Oopsie poopsie. But we got it though. We got it. What is this? Bamboo shell and wood. Oh, with beads and stuff. Bamboo shell and wood. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe this is Papua New Guinea? Papua New Guinea? Also after 1500s? Submit guess? Whoa. Wait, where? Huh? Where is it? Oh, okay. It's Oceania, so we're not too far off, but I was like, whoa, where did it go? Oh, Tibetan. I feel like this is Tibetan. We get a lot of these mandalas every so often. It could also be Southeast Asian, but... Here, Lhasa. Nice, yeah, Tibet initiation card. We didn't do too bad today. Top 22%. Good job. Good job, good job. Alright, time to mosh. It's time to mosh. For any new students in the chat today, we have an end of stream tradition called our end of stream mosh pit. And all you gotta do is, I'm gonna go ahead and play some music. Once you hear the music, go ahead and start spamming your favorite emotes in the chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and start making your stream avatars fight each other. There's no correlation between how many emotes you spam and who wins the mosh pit. It's RNG. It's not rigged. Yeah, it's mosh time. It's mosh time. Let's play some Disney metal. You guys ready for the Bells of Notre Dame? The Bells of Notre Dame. Alright, once you hear the music, get to moshing. And I'll see who we will raid into. 1/3 chances of being rigged? Nuh-uh. Wait, how much is this? Yeah, 5 minutes, that's fine. Soot Bonnie, hello, you're just in time for the end of stream mosh pit. Listen to Hellfire now. Sure thing, Mr. Jonathan Young, Caleb Hiles, man. You. Oh, we have to do the ad break is gonna start in a minute. We have to raid out, like, right now. We have to raid out right now. We're raiding out to Vera. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Digimon watch along, I think. Start the raid. Alright guys, I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, and evening, and as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining in with me, making art on KIDPIX, and yeah, we raid. Oh wait, do we have a raid message? We do. We have a raid message. I can't copy it. I can't copy it. Okay, there we go. Alright, re-raid.